This is the first of 2 videos on preparing to find a job. This video focuses on resumes and cover letters as part of getting a job and as examples of professional writing. Thinking of a resume as a pyramid can put building a resume into perspective for you. Since an employer only has a few moments, sometimes only 15 to 20 seconds, to see if you qualify for the position you are applying for, your resume must be structured very carefully and precisely. The top of the pyramid is a statement that is specific and relevant to the position you are applying for, so your objective. As you add to your resume, your focus becomes broader as you add in your qualifications, experience, and academics. As the pyramid image suggests, each component is connected to the next one. In other words, your objective needs to match your qualification. If there appears to be a disconnect, such as you as an education student applying for a job as an engineer or a recent grad applying for a manager's position, then the employer may not look any further. Make sure that the connection between your stated objective and your qualifications are very clear. As you add in your experience and academic background, you will want to start with the most relevant to the job you are applying for and then move to the least relevant. You're giving the potential employers a snapshot of how you fit with what they are looking for. Remember, too, that the information must be concise and relevant to the position. At UOIT, you have access to many resources through the Career Services portal, which is contained within the Student Experience website. Once you are at the website, you will find resources that are available only to UOIT students and others that are open to the public. From the Career Tools tab, you can access information related specifically to your faculty, as well as more general information. While we don't have time to look at it in detail now, it is well worth taking the time to explore the site. Now, let's look at an example of a resume from that website. So you can see we'll go to Career Tools and scroll down Public Career Tools and scroll all the way down again, and you can see there's all kinds of places to explore here for looking for jobs. But here we are. Here's resumes down at the bottom. And there's all kinds of information on resumes, including avoid the top 10 resume mistakes. But let's look at a sample resume for social science and humanities. Here we have a 2-page resume for someone in the communication field. And as you saw, there are other examples available on the website. Now, the first thing you see is the applicant's name and contact information up at the top here. Your name can be made larger and in bold letters so that it stands out. It's almost like a letterhead. Use a mailing address and phone number that will not change during your job hunt. Remember also that if you give your cell phone number, a potential employer could call at any time, so get in the habit of answering your phone professionally and make sure that your voicemail message sounds professional. Now look at your email address. You may wish to create a new email address with a nice boring address using your name, not something like partygirl@hotmail.com or something like that. Think about the impression you are creating. Your resume and cover letter are the first things that your potential employer will see about you. The next 2 items on your resume is the objective statement, right here, right at the top, and then a skills summary. Both of these will need to be tailored to suit every job that you apply for. Don't use the same one for every job. Now let's look more closely at the objective statement. I'm going to minimize this for a second. An objective statement should tell the employer what your objective is for this particular resume. So this is not your career or life objective overall. What does this first statement tell you about a person? The person that's applying? To obtain a fun and challenging position in a growth-oriented company that will allow me to develop and use my skills. What does he or she want? She wants a good job. The statement is way too general to tell the employer what you really want. And this looks like a very standard template kind of objective statement. Here's a formula. So for an objective statement, you want to say something about the position, something about the environment, and then value. With the position part, you want to be specific and give the name of the position or position type. So maybe it's practicum placement or internship. Next, make a statement about the environment in which you would like to work. Where do you want to work? This could be the actual company name or the type of job, such as in a probation office or a software company. And then finally, say something about the skills that you can bring to the position. So your added value to the company if they hire you. What are the top 3 skills that you can bring to the position? So if we look at this objective statement, position XYZ at company ABC where strong communication, leadership, and research skills are valued. Here the person has specifically stated the position and the name of the company, and then stated 3 skills: communication, leadership, and research skills. So this is now a stronger and more specific objective statement. If we flip back to the example from the website, you can look at the objective statement here. Communications assistant with St. Joseph's Healthcare Foundation. So that's pretty good. It's got the position and it's got the environment, but it is missing the value. So what skills would you want to include there? Now, it is important to note that in this case, this particular resume has a fairly long skills summary at the top of this page. So maybe you don't need to include a skill in your objective statement. Here are a few more examples of objective statements. If you include an objective statement, make sure you're targeting your resume to a particular position. So you need to know what position and company you are applying for. In fact, you will need to have a resume ready to individualize because often you'll not have a lot of time to work on it, or a job will be advertised at a time when you're really busy, such as during exams. So you should have a resume that has maybe no objective statement or one that's easy to tweak, because it's better not to have an objective statement on all rather than one that is too generic. Now your skills summary should be a highlight of the skills that you bring and that match the job requirements. So if your degree is directly related to the position, then include it in the skills summary. If not, you will need to use some judgment about whether or not it belongs in the skills summary or just in the education section. Perhaps instead you will include some skill that you developed during your education. You will also include any other skills that relate directly to the job you're applying for, so your ability to coordinate a project, any software skills that are important to the position, and so on. Remember that these are bullet points, not complete sentences, so there's no period at the end. Note also that they are written in active voice. Also note that that examples are provided. So this person says proficient in web design software and then states which ones. Now after your skills summary, list your academic credentials. When you are new to the job market, you can continue to list your high school diploma, especially if you won awards. Eventually, however, your high school education will no longer be relevant as you add to your credentials. List your most recent credential first. So if you recently graduated or are still attending university, list it before the high school diploma. Make sure to get the name of your school, your degree, and your program correct. Many people don't double check the exact wording of these things, and if you get it wrong, you look like you don't know what you're doing. As you can see in the example provided, you list either the date you received your degree, which is the date of convocation, so usually June or November of the year you graduate. If you have not finished yet, list the date you expect to graduate. Here you can also list your GPA if it makes you look good, as well as any awards received and any directly related courses that you have taken.